everybody. Whoa, almost knocked my cup over here. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm looking at my edge color. You can see the green on the top of my head. You see my elbow just disappeared because I'm cropping out the rest of the stuff. Hope y'all are doing well, folks. Episode 2, I guess, of Sunday Chat. Hope y'all are doing well. And I saw some people put a comment about this very same wording I was going to call it. This is almost kind of like the online live streaming version of our roundtable, where we can decompress. Y'all can't talk back. Y'all can send me chats and stuff like that. And we just want to bring it up and give an opportunity for us to sit down and talk about what was going on and all this other good stuff. I am in the chat. We are streaming to Facebook and YouTube, so whichever one you're comfortable in, thank you so much. Let's see who we got out here. Anthony, hello. Mike, hello. Aaron, hello. Chasen, hello. Darius, hello. Rion is in on Facebook. Hello. Bertina, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Hello. Chris, hello. Shane Hannah, hello. Sarah Lynn, hello. Coach, what's up? Amori, hello. That's what I didn't check. I didn't check my volume. All right, sounds fine. I can't really go up any higher unless I get a cloud lifter or something, which I may think about doing. I got the chat up, so I can bring it over here. That's why you see my arm getting cut off, because that's where we're going to be placing it. I hope everybody was doing well. There's a lot of stuff I didn't get a chance to talk about because we got the studio camera that came in when we had our Q&A. But there's a few things I want to chat with y'all about. But I hope everybody had a great service, whether you had it yesterday, today, or whatever day you have it. You can have service on any day. So hopefully that went well. Now, I'll be honest with y'all. I told y'all last week, everything fell apart at Spring Creek last week. This is where we took the 2 Raspberry Pis, tried to stream from their multipurpose room where the baptismal is into a streaming bridge that's connected to the ATEM Mini Extreme, which is in their sanctuary. But then the ATEM Mini Extreme is streaming back to the multipurpose room to the DIY Raspberry Pi streaming bridge that's connected to the TV. All of that failed last Sunday, and then the streaming bridge didn't show up on OBS, didn't show up on ProPresenter, and just everything fell apart. A lot of people were frustrated, understandably so. The head went on vacation and didn't come back, I think, until Saturday. So long story short, no one touched anything. So everything was in the exact same place we left it Sunday last week. We came in today, everything worked, which is the frustrating part. We talked about it. We didn't change nothing, and it just works great. But I got video of that. I also have actual use case video of the studio camera 4K plus in a service at the baptism. Then I rolled it into the sanctuary. It was noticeable enough that the pastor was like, "So AJ, you coming back with that camera next week? You want to leave it here?" I was like, "No, I don't. No, I'm not going to come back. No, you can't have it. You can go to BH Photo or Amazon and buy one." But anyway, let me know, how was y'all's service? Let me know. This is what this is about. Just chatting with y'all. Let me jump over here. Again, Darius, I have to agree. Saying here, good afternoon, everyone. Great to get together and decompress post-service. Exactly. That's what this is. Roundtable is more of a secure type of place to where everything stays there. If you wanted to talk about anything stronger, they don't want to be out there on the interwebs. But yes, that's what this is all about. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see. Chris was multitasking today. Seems like this morning, because one of the team members was out sick, I was doing live video switching, easy worship, and audio at the same time. So tiring. All you got to do now, Chris, is add in also you had to play the piano, the organ, or the drums, or the guitar at the same time. There you go. You still got some more room, but I understand those days, man. Um, let's see who else is out there. That was page 2. Let's go to page 1. Um, oh yeah. Rihanna was saying, um, "Hey AJ, I moved, meaning to a new church. Have to start a media ministry at this new church. Your material will come in handy. I am glad it will again." Appreciate it. Let's see what else. What else is going on? All right, Sarah Lynn has a question here. Anyone have a good option for a wireless aux option? We want to play hoop triggers, but have the freedom to move around. We use an iPhone now, wired to X32. Now, I'll be honest, I have not used this, but I will. The Chuck Taylor endorsed this, and I actually am looking at wanting to get one of these. This is an XLR Bluetooth receiver made by Alto. It was actually, well, this one is by Alto. This is actually the same brand of speakers that I hung at my church's chapel, the old building, as well as Mount Nebo. And I was going to say I was in the way. So it's right here. So something like this. So you can connect to it, plug it into your mixer, and then you just connect to it like any type of Bluetooth speaker. I think that would help. And it's only like $49. So if I didn't have, as you can see, a bunch of projects that are coming up here pretty soon, I would order one. But we need to put all that into getting the supplies. But let me get back over here and get my chroma key up. There we go. Put a link. Yes, I will. Put that in the chat. And let me put that in the Facebook chat as well, too. We got a lot of people, so now I'm bouncing between both, folks. So we're going to get there. So thank y'all so much. Adam, hello. Thanks for joining. Tim says he's getting ready to go to bed from work, but he got a question. Let's see. So we may need a new computer to replace our iMac. I need the ability to have 4 displays. Okay, well, honestly, you need a graphics card for that, which is going to be kind of tight right now because of their availability. And I really need to do a super source for this. I don't have time to set that up. But I'm going to go over to one of my places of choice, and that is Newegg. And if we look at GPUs, you want to look for one that has that type of support. And like I said, I mean, it's disappointing how much this stuff costs. They do have some new ones that came out. You don't need a super top of the line, but these prices is the serious. I remember I got this one for my computer at church for like $150. So I don't like the fact it costs that much. But I mean, you don't need to go to a super top of the line. You said 4 outputs, so that's only 3. Let's see. Trying to think what would be a good option, an affordable option. Again, I don't know what your budget is, but we need 4 displays, multi-monitor support, and let's say 4. And let's sort from the lowest to the highest. And of course, they're gonna give you some trash. That GT710, I don't know about that 4 outputs. I mean, you can try it. I wouldn't push it to that. I don't know. Here's a GTX 960. I mean, shipping is $45. Oh no. All right, here's another 950 for $230, and it says free shipping, and that would give you the outputs. That would give you 4. That's what I'm thinking. Again, you don't need it to be super, super powerful, but I think that would help you there. So hopefully that works. And get some rest. Let me turn my. I need to link this here. Oh, wrong one. I think it wiped out my settings. Oh well, we're just going back to this because when I hit the picture-in-picture button on the ATEM, it overwrote all my settings here. So, let's see. So Tim, hopefully that helped you. Joshua from Facebook. I posted a little earlier about PTZs of a few inexpensive and that you've unboxed. Do you currently have a favorite? Yeah, I just recently answered that. Honestly, a lot of them use the same chipset and the same sensor. So image quality and everything like that is going to be exactly the same. The only deciding factor for me is customer support. AVCans has responded a lot faster than the other ones. So I would lean more towards them right now. I never heard anything from SMT AV when I sent them the email. Zigo is good as well too. It's just I've had more communications with AVCans than them. Fumaco, I haven't heard nothing from them. I haven't had a reason to contact them, but that's who I would lean to for right now. Back to Adam here. My new install for a sister church had audio issues via OBS. They had multiple audio inputs unmuted in OBS. They sounded like they were in a well. Yeah, most likely. I always do that with my OBS. I turn off everything to where my input, my main audio, is the only thing I have on. Sorry, I was dropping that. There's no point in having the green screen up if I'm not going to use it. What I normally do in my OBS here, get my stuff open up over here. So let me turn this off so I don't have an echo going on here. Number 4. So here in OBS, what I always like to do is come in here to settings, go to audio, and I disable everything. And the only time I have audio is on the scene that I want. So right now, this is the only place where audio is coming in because I have it linked to my audio input on the scene. So there is no echo. That's what I always do because, I mean, by default, when you install it, the mic and line in is enabled. So that gives you that echo effect. And Kellen, I think you could help me with something right now. The only Macs that have a limit on displays are the M1 Max. Any of the other ones should be fine. Yeah, that's what I'm noticing because my M1 is right over here, and it gives me these issues. Yeah, that's why it's just doing little screensavers over here. And I don't have the keyboard next to me. But, yeah, that's the issue that I noticed. I thought it was the adapter I was using, but I do have that. I have one display out that is going to my ATEM and then the other screen. But thanks for letting me know. I thought that was maybe something I was doing. Everything was wired. Yeah, if you're talking about at Spring Creek, everything was wired. Nothing was wireless. Adam also said everything at their service went well. D, who keeps my calendar straight, and thank you so much, D. I wanted the world to know that you are an exceptional admin. I am so thankful that you are helping me with my business and getting my stuff straight. So thank you. D is saying they're still in service, had a few issues with our mics, but everything is going well. Awesome. Rob said everything was great today. Excellent. And Joshua, man, I am feeling you. I'm ready for a week off, if only if we had people for it. Man, and that is a good segue. I'm gonna ask y'all this. y'all know that I like Tesla stuff. What did y'all think of the announcement of this? What did y'all think? The Tesla bot. What did y'all think about that? Now, I know everybody has already said it. They've talked about, it reminds you of Skynet and all this other stuff, and the T-1000 and all this other stuff. I mean, honestly, yes, it's a little scary, but so is anything new. I remember, look back in the history, they were talking about, you can't drive a car faster than 30 miles an hour because the oxygen would be sucked out of your lungs. And I mean, it's a bunch of stuff like that. So I don't want to go into it fear-based. The first thing that popped in my mind when I saw about that Tesla bot is like, I need one of them so they can help climb and pull cables in attics or in crawl spaces. That's the very first thing I thought. And then I sit back and think, we talk about media ministry. What would you do if you had at least one of them to help with the task that you do in running the media ministry? Let me know what y'all think about that. I know it sounds crazy, but those were the first two things that popped in my mind. Back to Aaron. Yesterday's service was great for me. Just can't keep up with Singer because she's messing up. We're supposed to get a confidence monitor soon, so that should help. Awesome. Back to Chris. Fun stuff. The audio mix for the sanctuary was fine during the songs. During the last song, I noticed the audio was clipping for the online folks. Okay. Let me see. Do I have any more? Chat. Oh, that's another page. Aaron wants to know, do I have any footage from the new camera? Are you talking about for today or just in general? Because I did a live stream playing around with the camera. Sorry, I was one of my friends from college posted a picture. I was like, oh, you look so beautiful. So, Brooke, if you're seeing this, hi, Brooke, my neighbor and classmate in computer science at Hampton. Just gave you a shout out on my live stream. But let me see. Footage from it. Let me cut over and I'll show you. On my personal page, I actually did a live stream for about an hour of just me playing gospel music and stuff like that yesterday with the camera. Let me see. Let me cut over here real quick. So if I skip forward, all of this is from just the camera. No adjustments, no nothing. So I'll see if I can post something. I did do a YouTube short of the video when I was at Spring Creek, and I'm going to do the behind the scenes of what I did today. That's going to come out later as well. So hopefully that will give you enough footage as well. Now, I did record this in BlackMagic Raw directly from the camera, and the files are humongous. So if I cut over here, let me see if y'all can see the size of the files here. So right here, these BlackMagic files, this one is 17 gigs, 13 gigs, 48 gigs, 30 gigs. Yeah, humongous files. And that was with constant bit rate. So still playing with the settings, but I'm going to try and sample a lot of that stuff down when I'm doing the video, the review of actually using it in a service. Sheila Jones, if your church is doing, I'm assuming you mean Zoom, easy worship and cameras, what do you think is the perfect number of people who should be working the technology? Honestly, 4. Because it depends on what you're doing. Zoom, I would hope you have somebody who's moderating, watching, and stuff like that. I mean, if you're just running Zoom, you don't really need anybody to interact. But again, This is for engagement. What if somebody wants to give their life over to the Lord? Is anybody watching the comments to respond to that? That goes for your live stream too. It's not just a camera in the back and a live stream. People can get saved and delivered and want to have a relationship. You need to have somebody to man that. So that's the reason I say that. Easy Worship, your presentation software. Yeah, one person can do that. Cameras, it depends on how much you're moving around. Again, that's why I like the PTZs, because I can have the joystick right here and do whatever. But ideally, I would say 4. Who's the 4th person, AJ? Sound. Sound is a full-time thing. They need to be just focused on that. That's my suggestions if I had it. Have we done it with less? Yes, we've done it with 1 person because we had to. But ideally, I would think 4. Let's see, what else? Okay, so Sheila just sent the same question, so I got that. I need the rest of your question. What budget-friendly projects? Projectors, I need the full statement of what you need. All right, Joshua. Awesome. See, I told you, I'm on both sides. Brenda Anderson. Hello, AJ. I appreciate your review of the YOLO Live. Can't wait to you to show it in action at church. Thanks. Thank you for all you help us with this new way of getting the word out. You're awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I got a couple of ideas and a couple of ministries. I'm going to try the YOLO Box Pro in. When I get a chance, I actually want to take it and show you how to hook it all up, just like I did with the ATEM television studio, the ATEM Mini Pro. I want to do a deep dive of how I would connect everything, the audio, the cameras, everything. And also, Frank reached out to me from YOLO Live that the update that I updated in that video did include the chroma key in. It's just down a couple of levels. So I'm going to play around with that to show how you do lyrics over top of live video. So once I get that figured out, I will do a video about that as well. All right, so here's the question. What budget-friendly projector would you recommend for a well-lit church? Well, that all depends. When you're getting a projector, because I just got word that I think my home church is getting ready to move forward with changing out projectors as well too. So I'll take you along on when we do that. But the main thing you need to be mindful of, and it's kind of hard for me to answer that question, because when you get a projector, it has a lumens rating. The lumens is how powerful the light is. Your projector, you want something that is more powerful than the ambient light coming into the room. So if it's well lit, you're going to need a powerful projector that's more powerful, that can cut through the light, because last thing you need is the light to come through, from the projector coming to the screen, but all the light in the room deadens the power of the light going against the screen. So that's kind of hard to say. Like at my home church, I think the projectors that are up on the walls are 4,500 lumens, which is not enough because of the lighting that we have in the room. The windows are not close, but it's just the lights from the ceiling. And it's just white walls, so all the light bounces all around the place. So what I am looking at putting in place is some 6,000 or 6,500 lumen projectors. And if I can show you the ones I'm actually looking at, because I have to do this at the same time, because the projectors I wanted to get are back ordered, and it looks like they're still back ordered. So these were the ones I was looking at getting. These 6,000 lumen Sonys. The 5,000 version is what I actually installed at my brother-in-law's sisters and Elder J. Kyle's church, the model right under this. But this is what I am looking to put in place. But it says it's a month back order. So the idea is I wanted to that wasn't your question. Your question was what type of projector. Honestly, if you have a choice, go with a laser projector. That way you don't have to worry about the bulb. You don't have to worry about the light going down. It's like the equivalent of going from a regular light bulb to LED. It's just on or it stops working. But again, it lasts for a long time. I bought my house that I had originally in 2008. I switched every single light bulb to a LED. I sold the house 4 years ago and I never changed the light bulb. So I would say go with a laser no matter what. And there's plenty of free tools that you can download for Android and your iPhone or whatever phone that you got that will measure the lumens in the room. And you don't want a projector that matches the same thing. You need something more powerful. So that was a long answer, but it's kind of hard for me to say a budget option. I can tell you the specs of things what you should look for, because that also depends how far away is the projector from the screen, how big of a screen do you want. So it's a lot of stuff to go into that. The one lady T here. Hi, I wanted to know, is there any way for my church to do Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube Live when we go back in our church? We are currently holding our services virtually on Zoom and using OBS for YouTube. Yes, all you have to do is either get Restream and do that monthly, and you would have YouTube and Facebook linked to Restream and have OBS point to Restream, and then have the virtual camera from the virtual camera from OBS go to Zoom, as well as the audio, and then have OBS stream to Restream, and it can do both. Now, if your computer is fast enough, I have a video where we talked about using the multiple RTMP plugin. As long as your computer is fast enough and your upload speed is fast enough, OBS can stream to both at the same time. And that should be able to help. But again, I thoroughly say that will work only if your computer and your internet is upload speed is fast enough to handle that. Hold on 1 second. Hey, can I call you back? I am live streaming. Alrighty. Hey, bye. Where is it at? No, that was 2 years ago. No, that was Restream. Here it goes. How to stream to multiple destinations for free in OBS. Yep, that is it. I will copy the link and post that. Multiple streaming for free. So hopefully that helps you. Back to Sheila. How many monitors should I have if I'm running Zoom, OBS, and Worship Extreme? I hope that's not all on the same system. But ideally, I would say 3. Because Worship Extreme, Easy Worship, is you're going to see the program. You need another monitor just for that to be the output. That's connected to your projectors, whatever, like that. So that's 2. OBS is good to have a third one just for it by itself, and then maybe OBS and Zoom can actually run on the same screen, because once it's up, you really don't have to touch it that much. So I would say 3 at minimum. Personally, that's what I would think. Stan, hello. Thanks for joining. Kellen wants to know, sorry if you already answered this, but which do you prefer, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera or the Studio Camera 4K? Honestly, I like both. It all depends on its purpose. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera is what I have right here. That is more portable and would give you a completely different look. I like the Studio Camera, but that is really not meant for something outside. I really don't believe that. Even though I bought it for the intention of trying to use with Formation Sports, going outside, I'm going to try it out. But honestly, the Pocket Cinema camera, they both had the same lens. I like that. And it has its own battery. So the only thing you need to be concerned about is either a wireless HDMI connection. Then you don't have nothing except for everything is right there in your hand, compared to even if you went with the 4K Pro Studio camera, you need at least 1 cable to go from there all the way back. And it depends the functionality. I think they are both great cameras. Again, I have not used the studio camera in a service yet. I've done it to make video announcements, but the studio camera I used today, and I think everybody noticed the difference when that camera was hooked up. Everybody was like, good gosh, that's beautiful. And the color control and everything like that can be done on both cameras. I feel the studio camera is meant more for a studio, a stationary position, or even on a rolling tripod like I have it. But that's really meant in a controlled environment. The Pocket Cinema camera, you can come and go as you please because it's running on a battery. That's my personal opinion. Chris, I totally understand. Been there. And even though I'm not at my home church, I'm at another ministry every Sunday myself. So I totally understand. Mike said, Pastor Alicia won't let me give up attic ministry. Whatever, it ain't her choice. As long as the cables get pulled, that's all that matters. But ain't no reason to go back in the attic at all anymore. I mean, it don't, because even if I think she's gonna get one of these studio cameras for their baptismal area, which is in another room. I don't want to do it. I think I left an extra cable up in the ceiling, to be quite honest. And I think I would just run an extension and put a jack on the wall just to connect, because I think that's what I'm going to try and convince my brother-in-law at their church to do. Take y'all along with that. Let's see. I forgot to end the live stream. It went on for over an hour as we were having our usual post-service evaluation. Thank God we were out of frame and our voices weren't picked up. Hey, I've been there. And I think almost everybody in here has had one where they were recording, didn't hit the record button. There's been times they didn't hit the live stream button. Yeah, it's happened. Sarah Lynn was saying back to the Tesla bot that she's a sci-fi junkie, but this creeps her out. It does. I have to think of the positives. You know, somebody gonna. I don't know. It's just like with anything. It's a tool. A hammer can build, or a hammer can destroy. Oh, that was actually to Kellen. Sheila. It beats depending on humans, huh? Because I'm still working by myself with no help. Hey, that's you got to think. You have one of those that if you have people there is great, but if like, man, I got to run everything by myself. Hey, can y'all run this? And I'm telling you, there are benefits, folks. There are benefits. I see great help for so many elderly people who are lonely because they have not lived most of their, they've outlived most of their loved ones. Media help and long drives to prisons would really help, and they would be on time. Man, the long drives that you got to do it for your prison ministry, man, Tesla, get that autopilot, let it drive you. That's what I'm looking forward to when we do all this driving that I'm doing back and forth. Let's see. I think I jumped over to a page. Got some more folks. Every time when I'm getting ready to click, another stuff pops up. Steven was saying, hello all. We had problems with our internet provider. Halfway through our service or streaming, our upload speed was less than 1 megabyte. I didn't come back until an hour after service. Yeah, see, this is what I was telling Makita when I was at Spring Creek today. And I say it a bunch of times. When you put all this work into media ministry, you're like, oh man, this is so much stuff I never thought about. And you go down 10 levels and you're like, man, we did so much. But once you get there, it goes so much further. So that comment right there, Stephen sits back and thinks, man, if your internet goes out, what is your backup? Like, do you have a hotspot? I mean, it's so much stuff. Like, even, I don't know if you can see it the other day, I ended up buying that right there, and that's a UPS. because sometimes I'm doing work, people are uploading stuff, some of my contractors are uploading stuff to my Synology, and I need that to be functioning, because that's what runs the business. So I had to get something like that. Hey, if the internet goes out, where's your redundancy? That's why I'm looking at getting Starlink to have a satellite backup. Hey, it's crazy just how detailed this can go. It's never up. That's it. I don't have to do nothing else. Thankfully, what they say is like, as long as the earth remains, there will always be seed time and harvest. What they say, you're either going forward or by default, you're going backwards. You got to keep moving. Back to Sheila was saying, Tesla bot beats depending on other humans. Hey, sometimes, but yeah, I'm the first lady, the technology team with no help and no breaks. Man, I pray your strength. A lot of us have been there. MA16V3 saying shooting in BlackMagic RAW. Rest in peace, SSDs. Guess what? On the studio camera, that is your only recording option. It's only BlackMagic RAW. I need to play with it. I'm probably turned down the ratio. That's probably why my files are so big. But again, just got it the other day. Haven't really 2 days ago, so I haven't really played with it that much. I actually flew my drone yesterday, which I haven't flown in about a year. So I got a bunch of video from that I need to use in some type of B-roll. Back to Rob. I'm getting an A10 Mini Extreme, going to need a crash course on setting up and running it. Your videos will help. Well, I'm glad they do. Glad they will. Let's see. Stan, I am in complete agreement. A refresh on the television studio is much, much needed with BlackMagic. Back to Darius. Service went well at my church, starting to get things dialed in, was able to interact with 4 client sites and help them make minor changes to fix issues. Great to work together. That's what it's all about, folks. I don't care about what denomination you is and stuff like that. Hey, we can get further if we work together instead of everything just need to be by myself and we're all by myself and all this other stuff. So awesome. Glad y'all are taking the knowledge y'all have and sharing with others. That's what it's all about. Aaron, I'm a 2-man band right now, and I got a person on camera and me on Pro Presenter and sound set. Awesome. Brenda, can't wait. I'm looking at getting YOLO because we don't have a PC that is powerful enough. Awesome. Well, I mean, I'm really liking it. And also, I noticed today, did y'all go back and look at y'all's live stream? Facebook was actually accepting Spring Creek's live stream at 1080p. So I don't know if they've made that change permanent yet, but I did notice it. So let me know. Did y'all have y'all stuff still stuck at 720p? I'm going over to my my church's page, and I want to see what their stuff was at here. So we're over here. Hopefully I'm not showing something I'm not supposed to. I have the rights to the music, so you can't have a problem with it. That's 720p. But let's go over to Spring Creek and see what they were at. And I don't know if they take their stuff down or not. I don't believe they do. All right, that was here. That's 720. That's strange because I know I saw it at 1080p. So I don't know. Let me see if I can jump over to one of the shots. All right, so that was OBS just putting a bar there, and we kind of made a change to that today. But this is from the studio camera, and I'm all the way in the back of the sanctuary. That was the baptismal. I didn't get a chance to. There's really not a lot of lighting in there, so that's my fault from that. That's my key to pray her quick deliverance and healing, so she can get rid of that boot for her tendonitis there. Yeah, so that's from the side after I started dialing in the camera a little bit more. And I did record that, so I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison as well, too, when I do the video later this afternoon. Video Streams was saying that the original YOLO box supports the use of keyboard and mouse on firmware 3.5. Yeah, I had a feeling it was, because that was my first issue with it. So I'm glad that the older ones support that as well too. MA16V3 just finished completely revamping our media booth to make things easier for prospective volunteers. Now I need to actually sell the idea of media ministry to volunteers. Suggestions: set yourself on fire and invite people to watch. That's the easiest thing. Honestly, I was sitting back thinking when I was coming back home that it's a bunch of videos I need to do that I think that would be very helpful, but the issue that I have with it is I don't want it to be clickbaity, but I might have to do the title like that to get people to see through it, because if I just say the title of it, I don't think people are going to understand it. Like I said, like one of the videos I'm probably going to see if I can start recording before I leave for New Jersey is does your ministry have multiple streams of does your church have multiple, or how to have multiple streams of ministry instead of multiple streams of income, like I said, which you should have individually. But it's stuff like that, how to leverage YouTuber tricks for your ministry, stuff like that. But honestly, in getting volunteers, I don't like asking people to join. I like people coming and asking to join, because it's their own decision instead of me having to compel people to come. I think what I wanted to do a long time ago before COVID is to have like a ministry expo where I have like gear setting out, a PTZ, a camera, an ATEM or something like that. And it's free for them to touch and see what everything works right in front of them. Because a lot of people have the thought that what we're doing in the media booth, we're changing dilithium crystals and getting the phase variants of this so that we can, go to warp factor 9. And they think it's the Enterprise upstairs. And a lot of people are standoffish. I think it's almost like the same way they say with people buying a Tesla. If you put your butt in seats, the car sells itself, because once you drive it, no one can tell you. Once you actually do it yourself, then you're sold on it. And I think that's kind of the same way. A lot of people have a perception of what the media ministry is without really getting behind it. And then maybe an expo type of thing allows them no commitment to put stuff together. Because I think a lot of kids, when they've seen this stuff, they're like, man, this is the same stuff that my favorite YouTuber is doing, and this, and this. And it makes their mind like, oh, I can learn the skills of how to be a YouTuber that I'm doing at my ministry. That's how you can get younger generations involved as well too. And as well as just showing that these skills are applicable. Almost every business on the face of the planet needs to have video editors, do some type of live streaming. And these are the skills that all these other ministries can do. That's the selling point, I think, right there. And Aaron was saying that going back to the other video, like he said, he forgot to hit the record button the other day. Completely agree. Adam, could wireless HDMI work for 2 TVs to display lyrics and scripture? Yes. Just put a splitter on the end, but by the time you add another device, just realize it's slowing down another frame. So if you're just doing lyrics and scripture that doesn't need to sync with somebody's face and mouth and audio, yeah, it should be great. Just put a splitter on it and you should be good. Vaughn, hello, sir. Can you recommend a video switcher with multi-view that's just for switching? The computer we have is plenty powerful. Just looking for a switcher to make the aspect easier. Honestly, the ATEM, really. I mean, I'm not sponsored by them, but honestly, every ministry I've gone with them, it's been seamless and easy, personally. And going back to your next comment, I know you said it's overkill. Go with the base. Go with the base model one that's only $295. Because if you look for anything else, everything else is in that same price range. There's nothing lower than that, in all honesty. We've done the Live Pro, exact same price. If you want to get the Elgato capture card, that's actually twice the price. That's what, honestly, I would personally think out of all the other stuff. That's what I would go with. Joshua said added a UPS in the booth for the X32 streaming computer, A10 Mini Pro, and a couple of other things. Yeah, that's what ultimately that is. That's tied to the rack surge protector that has my UDM Pro, my office telephone, the OB High, which is Google Voice, my two Synologies, my 24-port PoE switch, and the router. That's what I have connected to that right now. So if anything goes out, I can use my laptop, still get on the internet and stuff like that, because everything is coming into the building, doesn't need power. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, never thought I was going to need one, but yeah, definitely need one. Jadon. We tried OBS, and since we invested in a dedicated streaming encoder, everything has been less stressful. In my opinion, using a computer to do any church or major live stream is not a good idea. Well, I mean, it all depends. It really all depends. I've used both. I think both have their strengths and their weaknesses. So, Joshua, I see you got the live long and prosper sign right there. Back to the comment about 1080p, you're saying Heimernet, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, noticed Facebook was allowing hours of 1080p about a month ago. Yeah, it's coming and going, so I think they're rolling it out slowly. Kellen, we streamed in 1080p, but the quality was to be really low. It looks worse than 720. Is it possible to change the resolution on A10 Mini Pro? No. A10 Mini Pro is only 1080. You can only change the frame rate from 24 up to 60. That's all you can change it. Let's see. Hello, or hey, we use Ecamm for our live stream with the A10 Mini. Could you please do a video that will explain how to optimally combine those for best results? I'll see. I don't have Ecamm Live, but since I have a Mac, I probably can get it. So I will let you know. No promises yet, but we'll see what we can do. Steven, how much upload speed do you need for streaming 1080p 60 frames a second? We stream to Twitch and YouTube now, but we want to add Facebook. We use vMix. Honestly, reliably, you probably want 10 megabits per second upload for each stream. So if you want to add a third, you're looking at 45 to 50 consistent upload speed. I wouldn't try and do anything less than that. Jackie wants to know, where in New Jersey are you going? I am going to Iselin, Iselin, and I'm gonna be there. My train leaves at 6 in the morning on Tuesday. I'll be up there, and then my train doesn't come back till Wednesday at 3 a.m., which I'm not too excited about, but hey, at least I'm not driving, so that's good. Exactly. Hey, I remember somebody asked me, AJ, do you like Star Trek or Star Wars better? Honestly, I like both, but Star Trek is a mainstay for me because at the end of church, my entire family after church would sit down and we would watch The Next Generation. And I just can't, even though I like Star Wars, you can't knock the family time. I've had that so much with my dad sitting in his chair, me on the floor, my sisters, and my mom, and we would all watch that. And that was one show all of us could watch. So yes, love it. Mousy up here bragging about your vacation. Good afternoon, everyone from Punta Cana on vacation and had issues with our live stream this morning. I left directions for my team in my absence. But the problem is they don't show up when I try to show them everything that needs to be done, so there are no live feed on YouTube. On another note, AJ, I received the Makos. Awesome. Hey, that's the struggle. That's the struggle. Media ministry is great. I'm thankful for the volunteers that we have, but the 80-20 rule is real. There is going to be 20% in your team that in anything, but especially in your media ministry, since we're talking about, that's going to go that next level. I'm not talking about just watching me. I'm talking about any type of videos, doing more research, finding out what the newest stuff is, practicing during the week without being told to practice, researching, investing to get some other stuff yourself. Like, I hated having to keep going down to the church, asking people to unlock, to try stuff out. And I started scrounging this stuff together to get an ATEM, originally I had an ATEM Television Studio HD and built out a rack with it and portable, and then it got smaller. I mean, not everybody's going to do that. It's not meant for everybody to do that. But that's why I say to other people, you can hire somebody to do media ministry, or let me put it this way. I never had a title as a minister of music. I was a minister of music. I hope y'all understand that. You can hire somebody and give them a title, but if you already know that's what you are, a title don't mean nothing. And I think that's the same way, like right now, when my call was to leave music and do media ministry, my ministry is media ministry. That's what I do. So I don't need the title. I don't need that. I'm going to do this no matter what, for this season. That's what I'm doing. So I say all that to say that try not to get frustrated if no one is trying to do it, because this might not be their ministry. As in, I call it selective salvation. Everybody just picks and chooses the stuff out in the Bible of what they want to follow, and everybody doesn't follow it. Again, it's not a good or a bad thing. It's like people are at different levels, but realize as a leader in your media ministry, and this is what I was telling Makita today when I was watching her train, that when you have volunteers from a leader, it is your goal and your responsibility to assess where everybody is. Out of all the stuff that I do, very few people ask me to go down to the deep level of, hey, how do you program this? How do you set the IP address? How do I do this? Very few people have asked me that. So I don't give that information because I need to assess where you're at. If you're struggling with switching the PTZ camera from camera 1 to camera 2, why in the world am I going to try and, if I see that that's where your deficiency is, why would I try to push more knowledge on you when I see that you're at this level and you're struggling on this level, and this is where your level is at right now? Why would I force somebody? Don't force anybody to go to the next level. They'll select themselves when they're ready to go to the next level. Let's see. Let's see. Marvin, similar kind of question. What is the best bandwidth for streaming through vMix and Restream? It all depends. I wouldn't go anything less than 15 megabits a second if you could. Tony. Hey man, just jumping in question. I'm doing a Zoom webinar and I'm wondering how to make sure the presenter is always on and the viewers only see the presenter. You would need to pin them. Pin them and make them be the main subject in Zoom, and that way it doesn't jump over when somebody starts talking. That's what's worked for me in Bible study and things like that. Joshua, I appreciate that. I really do. And I guess I didn't do that. So, folks, I just tell you this. I normally don't do this, but, really, if you do like this type of content, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification, because contrary to popular belief, it does help because the more people like a comment, something like that, YouTube, the algorithm is like, a lot of people are liking this. Let me start sharing this video with other people. So it does. If you hear anybody on YouTube talk about that, that is a real thing. We don't get paid for likes. We don't get paid for subscribers. We get paid for views. So, and like I told y'all, I don't beg, just being honest. This is all I do. I do this, and I run my company where this is advertising for my company, but I give this information to y'all. So again, I appreciate it, really would. And also, while you're doing it, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, please join that. It's like this all the time, and you can ask questions with ministry, over 2,400 ministries all over the world. So I'm sure somebody is using the same stuff or coming across the same issue that you're having. Let's see. Back to Adam. If the church wanted to display a video on the 2 wireless HDMI TVs, couldn't you adjust the delay in OBS? Yeah, you could. You could. But it might be a serious delay with, it depends. If your audio is coming through the house speakers, that's going to come faster than it going into the transmitter, being sent over to the receiver, then going through a splitter. You're going to be adding frames of delay. So yes, you can add a delay, but not in real life if people are there. It's going to look strange if somebody starts talking and then you don't hear them through the speakers 2 seconds later. But it is possible. I always say push it to the limit until you have people complain. Like at Union Grove, the video is behind because it is jumping through 2 SDI splitters, but no one has said anything about it except for Miss Manson, because she was there when I was installing it. She notices it, and I told her, I know you're going to notice it. I notice this stuff when I'm editing all the time because I see it. But if no one else is saying nothing about it, they're not noticing it. So that's kind of like my whole thing. MA16V3, also a Raspberry Pi arrived that I'm going to turn into a streaming bridge. Awesome. Follow Aaron's video. I followed it verbatim, didn't have any issues, and it's going on 3 weeks and working like a champ. And there goes my M1, just went out on my screen. MA16V3, I have not noticed. I haven't had a chance to delve into it. It's a bunch of forums. Check out the Raspberry Pi tutorial or the forums, and they should talk about that, or look for Nginx, mainly Nginx. So it doesn't even need to be the Raspberry Pi, because it's using the Nginx app to run, to do everything. Look that up, tutorials on that, and I should tell you. I don't know one directly off of it. Got a lot of people who are next generation fans here. Awesome. And again, I don't know what y'all feel about the new Star Trek that came out with Chris Pratt, and not Chris Pratt, but man, why is his name escaping me? Chris Pine, and stuff like that. But man, that episode, fire everything. Oh my, and then when the new USS Enterprise comes in and just starts blasting everything. Man, I love that scene. I don't know. I think they did some good casting as well for Spock and everything like that. But anyway, a last couple of questions, and then we're going to be up out of here. We had our first hybrid service today after 17 months only on Zoom. We used the A10 Mini, a PTZ, and a GoPro with the media mod. Audio from X32 was great. Awesome service. Many thanks for your advice. Awesome. I'm glad that worked out for you. MA16V3 says, also Amazon Basics now has an HDMI to SDI and SDI to HDMI converters for you budget folks doing long runs. I might have to check them out just to see how good they actually are. Tony, if you want to support me on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO. And that gives me a moment to say, hey, I want to thank all the patrons who do, wrong button. Thank all the patrons who are supporting me on a monthly basis. It's allowing me to do this, get new equipment, test out stuff. And again, that equipment, we always donate to another ministry to help them in some way, shape, or form, because there's no point in me keeping a lot of this stuff. And I want to just be able to pass on the blessing to y'all as much as I can. If you want to support for as little as $1 a month, you can go to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button down below. And like I said, no matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. I do a lot of the roundtables that we do. I've started uploading those to YouTube now, so they're available to all of the members. So if you can't join us on Facebook, you can always see it a couple of hours once we're done. It takes however long it takes for it to upload. Patreon people get that as well too. Patreon and YouTube members get discount codes monthly for discounts on a consultations with me and things like that. And we're looking at doing some more stuff. I want to do live streams directly just with the patrons and YouTube members, but it's a time type of thing for me on how much time I can get it done separately. But if y'all want that, I will work towards that as well too. See, MA16V3, I don't really get a chance to watch TV that much, but I want to get into Picard. I love Patrick Stewart. I mean, I think he's an outstanding, or Sir Patrick Stewart. He's an excellent actor. Just very funny as well too. If y'all don't know, I don't really watch it a lot, but he's actually in Family Guy. He's in American Dad. I mean, he's hilarious. Brent Spiner as well, LeVar Burton, all of them folks. Jonathan Frakes, all of them. I think I did a sit down. Now, Enterprise, I really liked that one as well too. As much as people didn't like, thought the last episode was horrible how they did him. But anyway, Lamoris, another rough day. OBS was giving me a 2-second delay on my video, so it was out of sync with audio. Yeah, we get those days, man. What's the specs of your system that you're using? And like I said, Joshua, man, I don't even really get a chance to watch TV that much, but I have been watching What If. If T'Challa became Star-Lord, oh my gosh. Excellent episode. Especially it had Chadwick Boseman voicing him. So it's 3 more episodes with Chadwick Boseman, and that's his last final work. Excellent. That was the Star-Lord that we needed. Everything changed, so I ain't gonna ruin it there. Yeah, I want to get into Lower Decks, Joshua, but like I said, especially when my daughter's around, I really don't watch a lot of stuff. I wanted to watch The Walking Dead. I love the games. I've only been able to watch 1 episode because that's when my daughter was really young, and I don't like certain stuff in her mental cortex when stuff is around, so that's why I don't watch it. But then, honestly, if I'm not doing videos or helping other people, I'm asleep. So, anyway. Emery was saying that the Amazon Basics one converters are not 3G. So that might be a pause for me. 2 more, and then we're going to be up and out of here. Wants to know a recommended computer that can handle ProPresenter 7 and seamlessly and edit videos after service. I can't recommend one off the top of my head because honestly they're overpriced. I can recommend the parts on doing one. So let's actually open up an incognito window, and I've done a bunch of videos on how to build this stuff. So, and I've actually done one where I did an entire 2-hour live stream where I built it. So hopefully that would help. I want to empower you that you actually are able to do it. It's not as hard as you would think. So the first thing for ProPresenter, honestly, is easy to run, as long as now 7 is a lot better than what it used to. And again, yes, I am an AMD fanboy because you still can't beat the performance of this system. I would stick with a Ryzen 5, let's go with Ryzen 7 5700. Or actually, let's look at a Ryzen 5 3600, because that's still more than enough power for processing power. So you can get that one right there. That comes with a fan and everything like that. Video editing, I would go with 32 gigabytes of DDR4, maybe 3200 megahertz. We go with that. I would do a B550 motherboard. And unless you want to do extra stuff, I would go with a micro ATX. But if you want more space for a full case or something like that, pick whichever one. Oh, excuse me. What board? I've used, my last builds was in this ASRock B550, but it was BIOS version 1. So it only worked after I got the most recent 5600G that would boot, and then I could install the other BIOS so they can detect the other one. So be wary of that. But honestly, I would say maybe the Gigabyte 550 version of the one that I normally use would work with this very well. Boom. I would do a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. I like the silicone power. That's what I've used with them. And if you need extra storage, you can always get a secondary drive, but that'll be more than enough of that. In that, I would get a 600 watt power supply. And what else? What else we need? Need a case. I personally like the Fantex case. That would be reasonable. That was it right there. Reasonable price, and it's big enough for an ATX motherboard if you want to move to that in the future. And then that's used. I don't want to go with that. Now the main issue, like I said before, is going to be trying to get a graphics card for that. So if you want to, I would say try and go a 1050, because that would be, it's not going to be super top of the line, but it's going to be one of the most affordable ones here. You can get maybe for like $200 and some, $300 for that. Or I know the Radeon, the newer ones, the 5600 just came out, but they probably scalped the prices. Yes, these were supposed to be like $300 and some, but they shot the price up. And that's shipping from China, which I don't want to do, because that's going to take forever and a day. But I wouldn't go any lower than a 1050. See if you can get a 1650 if possible. And that system will, this is a good one for, not at that price, but this is a good one, a reasonable price one. Why are they charging $50 for shipping? That's crazy. But like this one, shipping from the United States, so that's $350. So for me, this would be a system minus a monitor, minus keyboard and mouse, that can handle both beyond what you would need. You're looking at around like $1,100 for that. That would be more than enough. And honestly, if I built one, this is exactly what I would do. And this would last you for quite a while. So hopefully that helps. Now, MA16V3, honestly, you would go with the APUs from AMD and it would give you the same thing. That's what I used in the last couple of ones, and they work well. I've been using them for years. So yeah, I just don't like the fact Intel hasn't made any progress, and AMD cleaned their clock for so many years of being on the top, and they've become complacent. That's just me personally. And yes, they do have few options for their APUs, but the 5600 and the 5700 are great options. It gives you a whole lot of horsepower. Amory, I think somebody else commented on it. I have an M1 right here. The issue with the M1, you can only have an additional display out. You can't have more than the main one and the secondary one. That's the only issue I would think with that. But no, in Amory, just like I was saying, I have that same setup. I have multiple USB-Cs, and it only detects one. I have... Oh, I think I knocked my monitor loose. Hold on. My main monitor just went out. I can still see y'all. Okay. I guess that means it's time to go. I have one of these that gives me HDMI out. And this is what I've been using. This is what's connected to my M1. And that's what's giving me video. But my monitor went out. I must have hit the cable or something. Come on, man. And technical issue right there. All right, let's plug it up. If not, I'm going to have to shut it down and come back. Oh, now it's working. There it goes. I don't know what that was all about. And then it just turned off again. And come on now. My monitor is flickering, so I can't see what everybody was saying. Let me get these last couple of ones here. Kenneth Ritchie, yes, I normally use PC Part Picker for stuff like that as well too. I just happen to go directly to here, and I don't know why my screen is really just flickering back and forth. I didn't think unplugging my USB adapter would cause that many issues. Last two. Come on, monitors. Now all my monitors are going out. That's crazy. Trying to find where my mouse is. All right, Anthony, and then one more after that, and we are done for the day. Anthony, what's the longest length of HDMI cable I can use to get a signal from my camera? Regular HDMI cable, 20 feet. Fiber HDMI, which is one direction, I have done 100 foot, and that worked fine for me. I'm really liking those now. I've used them in 5 different locations, and I have one myself. My camera is actually, you can't see, it's behind here. It's connected with one. Oh, I hit a button on my sounders, so we got one, and the cable's not long enough, but this is the fiber HDMI here that's in, come on, product shot. My camera's not adjusting on me. But anyway, this is 100 foot that I have spooled up right here. This was meant for my the rolling camera, the studio camera when I have it, so I can still have the control and stuff like that. That would work. You can have that, just have the adapter on the end, and that should work well for you. Got Otis back on here. Wants to know, how do I like the micro iTech switch? I mean, it works fine. I haven't had any issues with it. He said the sound match with the reveal of the camera. Yeah, the Rodecaster has a bunch of effects on it that I really have never used because it's not close enough for me to hit, and I don't have this done. If I was going to do this again, I would actually have a desk and actually be a closer U And this would be my studio live stream type of one to where I can control everything. But ideally is to have a team of people here. And I, just like in the media ministry, I would have people manning the cameras and the sound and stuff like that. But you have to build that stuff before you can have people here. But thank you so much, folks. Hopefully this helps. Again, I'm going to try and keep doing these as much as possible. So it's not, I guess you could almost consider it as a Q&A, but the Q&As Friday are meant to help answer some questions before you're going into your service. And then like Davey504, that was a guy I follow, very funny, playing bass and stuff like that on YouTube. He has a part on his videos called Therapy Time, where he's just sitting being quiet, like he's imagining like y'all are talking to him. This is my equivalent of that, but this is me chatting with y'all, hopefully to give some retrospective, is that how you say it? Yeah, about after your service, and just come together and see what we can talk about. And then I talk about the exact same thing that I'm dealing with as well too. So I'll give you a heads up. Where is AJ the CEO this week? We're going to be hanging an 85-inch screen TV and a brand new Ryzen 5 5600G system for a church that's mainly doing Zoom. But we're going to be hanging that tomorrow, Glen Allen Baptist Church. Then on Tuesday, we're going to be up in Iselin, New Jersey, to help out a ministry up there. And then I'm not doing nothing Wednesday because I'm going to be on the train all day. Then Thursday, we're going to be back at Greater Faith. We're going to hang the back, hopefully the back TV, actually, no. I'm actually going to fix all the wiring that was messed up and not big enough in the fellowship hall for the TVs. Move all the wiring up there. Maybe hang the other TV if we can, and try and get some wiring done. Because after that, my part of that is done. And then my daughter's very first game as a cheerleader is Saturday. So we're going to be at that. And I'm going to have some video of that. You know, Daddy's going to definitely have a camera for his baby girl. But that's what we got going on. Thank y'all so much. I hope y'all have a great day, afternoon, evening. Y'all get some rest. Thank y'all so much for what y'all doing. Thank you for the constant study and learning more to improve your media ministry. I really appreciate it. You could have gone to millions of other YouTubers, but I appreciate the fact that you decided to spend some time with me, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Thank you so much, folks. We will see y'all in the next video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let me not knock my monitor out again. And we'll be seeing y'all in the next video. Later, folks.